This is the time of the season where results, man, tend to weigh a bit more than they did during the season. This is crunch time of the season, man, where a loss hurts a bit more and a victory tastes a bit much better, man, than it did during the season. This is where we actually want to be. This is where we want to be. There's 9 games left. And right now, every result you get, positive or negative, impacts your season one way or another. If you're winning, you're probably getting close to your objectives. If you're losing and other clubs are winning, then you know that everything is looking bleak, man. It's looking bleak. This is where it's this is the most toxic time of the season. And right now, man, we're gonna react to the midweek games because crazy shifts happened this midweek. But we're not gonna talk about players, performances. We're just gonna relate to results and see how they impact each club's season. Because this is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. Yo, this time of the season, it's especially if you're involved in the title, man. Because right now, my palms are sweaty, man. My palms are sweaty. My knees are weak. My arms are heavy. I'm nervous, but on the surface, I look calm and ready, man. I look calm and ready because this is crazy. Yesterday we had some crazy results, man, that changed the perception, the look of the season, basically, for better and for worse. We're gonna discuss the winners and the losers of this game week with 10 games, basically 9 games left of the season. Some teams, my team in particular, with 8 games left. So we're gonna see how the season is looking going forth, man, because there's 8 games left. Let's discuss these results. Let's discuss the results, man. So we saw um, Chelsea yesterday. Actually, let me start at the top of the table. So Arsenal won 1-0 away to Brighton, and Man City drew 2-2 with Forest. Now, I am not gonna lie. When I was watching this game, I I could only watch one game yesterday. Whenever I don't want to watch other teams, right? So I only watch my team. So I was watching, and it was like, I guess it was a bad game for us, bad performance. Brighton controlled the entirety of the game, and we 1-0 is a slender lead. So I'm not gonna lie, I was sweating, right? I was sweating, I wasn't happy. But I kept on getting notifications on the Man City game. Got to a point where I think it was like around the 80, let's say 83rd minute or something, where I'm still leading 1-0, Brighton are peppering us. And then I see that Forest has equalized, now it's 2-2. In that moment, in that moment, I, the thing is, in my mind, I'm like, Man City are gonna score. Obviously, Man City are gonna score a winner. So I'm trying to convince myself. So when it inevitably happened that Man City score a winner, it doesn't carry that much weight. So I'm preparing myself that Man City will eventually score a winner here. But in my heart, I'm hoping that Man City don't score a winner here. It's crazy because always, every time when Man City find themselves in situations, they always find a solution. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, Man City will definitely score a winner here. But in my mind, I'm like, please, please. Also because we're getting peppered, so I'm like, this could turn badly for me because Man City could score a winner and Brighton could equalize. It's looking like that's the most likely outcome of this game. But lucky for me, man, our game finished at 1-0. Now I'm half happy because Man City's game is still playing. I'm happy that we won, but I'm focused on the Man City game. So I switch. Once I get to the Man City game, Bernardo Silva is right in front of Sales, man. He's gonna score. I'm like, yeah, man. But lucky for us, Murillo ended up making that last ditch tackle, which saved which saved my yesterday, man. And today, I've been there was a pep in my step. I've been bouncing today, man. I was so happy. But that those are results in the top of the table, man. Arsenal won away game to Brighton. I honestly thought that Man City are the least likely to lose this, to drop points yesterday, considering that they are home to Forest and I'm away to Brighton. Brighton are a tricky game, but everything in our favor, man. Which right now saw the table which saw the table looking like this, actually. The table look like this. Right now, we have extended the gap by 7 points. We are now 7 points ahead of Man City. Obviously, they have a game in hand. This is which is why I mentioned on the last game that we need to ensure that Man City drop before us, because this is what I want to be. Now it's a 2-game swing. Even if Man City win their game in hand, it's a 2-game swing, because if they win their game in hand, then they'll only be 4 points behind me, which means they have to beat me at the Etihad, and they still have to hope that I drop points somewhere else. So this is where I want to be, man. I'm so pleased, but it's not. It's still. I still think that it's. I'm still 8 games is too much, man. 8 games is a long season because a lot can happen. But I want to challenge these boys one last time. Man. I want to challenge Arsenal one last time. I need Man City to be the first team to drop going forward. That's all I'm asking. One last time this season. Ensure that Man City drop points before we do. If they drop Man City and then we capitalize on that weekend, then we open the gap to. They're assuming that Man City win their game in hand to 7 points with, let's say, 6 games to go, then I'll take it. We need to ensure that. But yeah, man, listen, the funny thing that is happening right now is most of the Man City fans that I know in my life, right, my friends who are Man City fans, they are happy with how their team is progressing in comparison to last season, right? How their young talents and the players that they bought are actually performing in the team, Semenyo, Magehi. They are happy because they are optimistic about the future of the club. They feel like they will be committing for the next years to come. They are pleased. Obviously, they're in a position to win the league right now, so they are anxious and they want to win the league. I get that. I get that part. But they are more like there's positivity in them that, okay, our team is doing well. Next season, we can add a few pieces here and there, and then we're going to compete. That's the attitude of Man City fans right now. Even on social media, Man City fans were more optimistic about their team, man. They are not too fast about not winning this title. They are concerned, but they are not too fast because they're entitled, so they obviously want to win it, but they're not too fast, man. Them rival fans, though, yo, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool fans, oh my goodness, man. They are so invested, more invested than Man City fans, which is crazy. But yeah, man, this is the impact of this game. Let's move to other results. This is what happens right now. Now we saw a shift in the top 4 race because Chelsea, a 6 point, this was a 6 point, I mean, Chelsea had to win this game. 6 point against Aston Villa. United lost to 10-man Newcastle, and then Liverpool lost to Wolves. That is not good. Chelsea needed to win this game, obviously. Outstanding performance by João Pedro. Man, who helped Chelsea move ahead of Liverpool. Now Chelsea are ahead of Liverpool, only 3 points behind United. We're third. And they're still going to play United, I think. United should have won that game. It was a must win by United because they would have opened that gap to 6 points ahead of Chelsea and 3 points ahead of Aston Villa, which would almost see them comfortable in that third. But now they've dragged themselves into this top four space. Aston Villa, I've mentioned it. Unai Emery, man, this time of the season, Unai Emery is probably one of the worst managers when this time of the season. He just cannot handle the pressure that comes with this time of the season. The way Aston Villa have fell down the table, man, is actually laughable. They've only won 1 game in their last 5. They are behind United. Obviously, of course, they still recover because they have equal points United and they're playing United the next game. Liverpool, man. Liverpool lost to Wolves, the last team on the table, which see them 3 points behind United. I mean, they're still within, but I feel like you just cannot afford to lose these games, especially when the table is this tight. Liverpool just cannot afford to lose games when this table is this tight, man. Because right now, the Premier League, I get it. Away games, the Premier League are tricky, to be honest. This is the toughest Premier League we've had in the longest time. It is so hard to win away from home in the Premier League. This is because the floor of the Premier League is so high that now anyone can beat anyone any day. So I get it, but I just feel like they are making things very difficult for themselves because every team here is banking on the fact that they're more likely going to be 5 teams qualifying for the Champions League. But what happens if we don't do well in Europe and then there's four? That fifth space that will come in England. Then which means two of the big dogs have to fall down. I mean, I'm sure the Premier League as a league would rather Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, and Liverpool qualified. It makes better for the Premier League brand. It's easier to I think that's the best way for the Premier League to move forward. The big clubs doing well in Europe, right? I think it brings more money in the Premier League. But I'm not gonna lie, I want Aston Villa to get the top four, so that one big team out of these three, 1, 2, 3, actually misses out in the Champions League. But I'm thinking Aston Villa will probably get it. But I'd like Aston Villa to get the top four, so that one of these three teams miss out, man. Preferable. I like Liverpool, man. I like Liverpool, so I want Liverpool as well to make it. So between United and Chelsea, one of these two teams should make top four. That's what I'd like anyway. But who were the biggest winners in this game week, man? I think the biggest winners were probably Chelsea and Arsenal. Those are the biggest winners in this game week. Chelsea were able to gain from losing back-to-back games against Arsenal, and what's they lose against? I'm not sure, but I think they dropped points against Leeds, and then they dropped points against I forgot that other club. Then they lost against Arsenal. So Chelsea needed to win, man. So they gained. They were one of the biggest winners in this game week. The biggest losers, though, in this game week, man, are Spurs. Spurs are the biggest losers in this game week. Every team that Spurs are competing with for this relegation zone managed to gain a point, except for Leeds, obviously. Nottingham Forest closed the gap to 1 point. West Ham closed the gap to 1 point. Big win away to Fulham from West Ham. They closed the gap to 1 point, which means Spurs have to beat Crystal Palace today. Because if they don't, could be dark for Spurs, man. Could be dark. I'm going to need Palace to do something. But yeah, Spurs are the biggest losers, man. Everything went wrong for Spurs. Arsenal won, City lost, which is what Spurs, they don't want that. And then the teams below them, they won as well. But let's see what happens to Tottenham tonight, man. They haven't played, so maybe they're going to win. I don't think they will win, but maybe they will win. Other than that, listen, it's been a positive game week, man. For me, specifically, Arsenal, it's been a positive game week. We are not playing well, but the pressure that we're dealing with right now, there's literally no team that has ever had to endure this level of pressure that we're dealing with right now. No team has ever had to compete against all 19 teams who don't want it to win. And the media, the noise, the fans, the social media, the teams, the managers, everyone is rooting against Arsenal not to win this league. It has never happened before. So that pressure, I can tell that it's gaining. Like the players are getting this pressure, man. I can tell. None of my players are actually, except for, like, let's say, Gabriel and Ryan. Most of my players, you can tell that they are feeling this pressure. This is a mad pressure, man. I've never experienced anything like this, man. I've never experienced anything like this, man. But we're going to have to do it regardless. We're going to have to do it regardless, man. Unfortunately, we have no choice. We have to win this Premier League with everything that's going against us, as far as the fan base, as far as the hatings go. Everyone hates me. Even fans from outside of England don't want to see us not win this league. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. But we're going to have to do it, man. We're going to have to do it. We have no choice. So I'm hoping that maybe we gain another advantage of Man City, and then maybe we focus on other competitions. Other than that, yeah, guys, man, let's continue to like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.